B&B spoilers. Deacon and Dollar Bill bromance. Ridge Forrester outnumbered. The theme on The Bold and the Beautiful this year will be an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine. Ridge Forrester has a tough year ahead of him. There are a lot of people in La La Land that aren't fans of the designer, and they're all becoming besties. Here's what's coming up next on B&B. Spoilers down below. Dollar Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, and Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, have battled back and forth over the years, mostly because of their mutual ex-wife, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. Spencers and Sharps unite. The Bold and the Beautiful fans know that Deacon could care less about Brooke these days, and Bill Spencer is happily married and off the market. The in-laws really have nothing left to bicker about. In fact, they are all celebrating the fact that Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Hope Logan, Annika Noel, are back together. This week on the CBS soap opera, Bill and Katie Spencer, Heather Tom, head to Il Giardino, because where else is there to eat on the soap? Bill and Deacon's in-law bromance is kind of adorable, and spoilers say they will be spending a lot more time together in upcoming episodes. Deacon Sharp is in the market for a new investor, and they don't call Liam's dad Dollar Bill for nothing. Plus, Katie Spencer is going to be working closely with Deacon's son Deke at the new fashion house. Beatty encourages Deacon and Taylor. There's going to be some animosity between Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, and Deacon when news get out about his feelings for Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. Deacon's new in-laws Bill and Katie are at the top of the We Hate Ridge list and will be happy to have his back in his battle against Taylor's ex. Are you loving the idea of Deacon and Bill being besties and ganging up on Ridge Forrester? Is Ridge in trouble now that the Sharps and Spencers are spending so much time together? The dust hasn't even settled on the recent holiday drama, and already the landscape of Los Angeles fashion is shifting in ways no one predicted. Today's news from the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B, brings a mix of sad realizations for the Forrester dynasty and an electrifying, albeit unlikely, bromance that is setting social media ablaze. While the Forresters have long reigned supreme, a storm is brewing at Il Giardino. The sad news for Ridge Forrester isn't just about losing a trademark. It's about losing his grip on the industry as a powerful new coalition forms right under his nose. The unlikely bromance. Deacon and Dollar Bill join forces. In a twist that few saw coming, Bill Spencer and Deacon Sharp are finding common ground. Historically, these two have had every reason to despise each other, from their mutual history with Brooke Logan to their vastly different social standings, the billionaire stallion versus the ex-con pizza king. They should be oil and water. However, recent events have created a common enemy scenario. Deacon's frustration. Deacon is reeling from the sad news that his son, Deke Sharp, was unceremoniously dumped by Forrester Creations to make room for the returning Thomas Forrester. To Deacon, this is just another example of the Forresters looking down their noses at anyone without a legacy last name. Bill's ambition. Bill is currently the ultimate girl dad and devoted husband, having recently remarried Katie Logan. He is determined to help Katie build her own fashion empire to rival the sisters who doubted her. At the bar in Il Giardino, the chemistry between Sean Cannon and Don Diamant has been undeniable. Bill, sipping club soda to prove his new man status, actually listened to Deacon's pitch for expanding the restaurant. When Bill admitted that Deacon's Pizza is the best in town and suggested he might need an investor, the hashtag Bill and Deke bromance was officially born. Soap note, is Bill just being a savvy businessman, or is he genuinely enjoying the company of someone who hates Ridge Forrester as much as he does? Ridge Forrester, outnumbered and outmaneuvered. For decades, Ridge Forrester has operated under the assumption that Forrester is the only name that matters in fashion. But as of January 2026, the walls are closing in. Ridge spent the better part of the week fuming at the office, insisting that Katie and Bill's new venture would fail because they lack soul and artistic vision. However, Ridge's arrogance may be his undoing. He is currently facing a multi-front war. The Logan Civil War. By forbidding Katie from using the Logan name, Ridge and Brooke have pushed Katie right into Bill's arms and into a competitive frenzy. The talent drain. In a massive oversight, Ridge fired Deke Sharp, not realizing that Deke is a talented designer in his own right. The new dream team, while Ridge was busy mocking the Spencer crowd, Katie was at Il Giardino offering Deke the lead designer position at her new house. Ridge is used to being the alpha, but with Bill's money, Deacon's street smarts, Katie's drive, and Deke's fresh designs, the dressmaker is suddenly looking very isolated. Even Eric Forrester has shown signs of rebellion, feeling pushed out by Ridge's forced retirement schemes. Friday, January 9th, the shocking confrontations. As we head into the weekend, the tension reaches a breaking point. Here is what to expect in today's high-stakes episode. Character the conflict. Sheila Sharp overhears Deacon and Deke discussing Taylor Hayes. The reformed villainess is about to spiral. Carter Walton faced with Daphne Rose's departure for Paris. He prepares a big and bold move, a marriage proposal. Deke Sharp gets grilled by Sheila. Will he accidentally reveal his father's emotional affair with Taylor? Steffi Forrester continues to warn Taylor that her obsession with Deacon is a death wish given Sheila's presence. The sad news for Sheila and Deacon. The truly sad part of today's update involves the crumbling of Deacon's marriage. While his bromance with Bill is thriving, his relationship with Sheila Carter is on life support. Sheila, who has been desperately trying to be a good wife, just overheard Deke hoping that Deacon would leave her for Taylor Hayes. We all know what happens when Sheila feels rejected. If Deacon thinks he can just move on to a Bromance with Taylor while remaining under the same roof as the woman who once shot her own son, he is more delusional than Bill Spencer on a power trip. What's next for the Spencer-Sharp alliance? As the Logan Fashion House prepares for its first show, the question remains, can Bill and Deacon actually maintain this friendship? Or will their shared history with Brooke eventually turn them back into enemies? For now, Ridge Forrester should be very, very worried. He spent so much time looking at the horizon that he hasn't noticed the sharks in his own backyard. Sheila, who has been desperately trying to be a good wife, just overheard Deke hoping that Deacon would leave her for Taylor Hayes. We all know what happens when Sheila feels rejected. If Deacon thinks he can just move on to a Bromance with Taylor while remaining under the same roof as the woman who once shot her own son, he is more delusional than Bill Spencer on a power trip. What's next for the Spencer-Sharp alliance? As the Logan Fashion House prepares for its first show, the question remains, can Bill and Deacon actually maintain this friendship? Or will their shared history with Brooke eventually turn them back into enemies? For now, Ridge Forrester should be very, very worried. And the beautiful spoilers bring heartbreak, betrayal, and a stunning shift in power that no one saw coming. What should have been a time of unity and healing instead turns into a devastating turning point. One that leaves Ridge Forrester standing alone while two of his biggest rivals unexpectedly join forces. The rise of the Deacon Sharp and Dollar Bill Spencer bromance is more than shocking, it's deeply sad, and it threatens to permanently change the balance of power in Los Angeles. For Ridge, this is not just another business setback or romantic disappointment. This is personal, and the emotional fallout could be irreversible. A friendship born from pain and revenge. Deacon Sharp and Bill Spencer have never been known as allies. In fact, for years they've been more likely to clash than cooperate. Both men have a long history of messy relationships, bad decisions, and explosive confrontations, often fueled by their complicated connections to the Forrester family. But sadness has a way of uniting people. Recent spoilers suggest that Deacon and Bill find common ground, not in victory, but in loss, regret, and shared resentment toward Ridge Forrester. Each man, in his own way, feels pushed aside, underestimated, and discarded by the Forrester dynasty. And now that emotional pain is morphing into something far more dangerous. Loyalty to each other. What starts as a few quiet conversations, two men commiserating over drinks, quickly evolves into a powerful bond. This is not a light-hearted friendship. This is a bromance forged in heartbreak and fueled by vengeance. Deacon Sharp, a man who's finally had enough. Deacon has spent years trying to prove he's more than his worst mistakes. He's fought for redemption, for respect, and for a place in a world that never truly forgave him. And every time he thought he was making progress, Ridge Forrester stood as a silent reminder that Deacon would never truly belong. Recent events leave Deacon feeling humiliated and isolated once again. His personal life is in ruins, his reputation remains fragile, and the Forrester family continues to treat him like an outsider who should be grateful for scraps. That's when Bill Spencer steps in. Bill doesn't judge Deacon. He doesn't look down on him. Instead, he listens, and for Deacon, that changes everything. For the first time in a long while, Deacon feels understood, valued, seen, and that emotional validation pulls him straight into Bill's orbit. Dollar Bill Spencer, the king without a throne. Bill Spencer is no stranger to power, but lately he's been losing control of his empire, his family, and his influence over the Forresters. Once feared and respected, Bill now finds himself increasingly sidelined while Ridge continues to play hero, designer, and moral authority. Spoilers reveal that Bill is quietly seething. He's tired of Ridge acting superior, tired of watching the Forresters close ranks while he's kept at arm's length, and tired of being portrayed as the villain while Ridge escapes accountability for his own betrayals and broken promises. When Bill realizes that Deacon feels the same sting of rejection, something clicks. Suddenly, Bill isn't alone anymore. Together, Bill and Deacon begin to see what Ridge doesn't: strength in numbers. Ridge Forrester, alone, vulnerable, and outmatched. This is where today's news turns truly sad. Ridge Forrester has always believed he could handle anything, any rival, any crisis, any emotional storm. But spoilers warn that Ridge is dangerously underestimating what's happening behind the scenes. He has no idea that Deacon and Bill are aligning. No idea that old enemies are becoming trusted allies. And no idea that he's about to be outnumbered in ways he's never experienced before. For years, Ridge relied on his family's unity to shield him from consequences. But cracks are forming. Loyalties are shifting. And with Bill's strategic mind and Deacon's emotional insight, Ridge may finally be facing an opponent, or rather, two, who know exactly where his weaknesses lie. This isn't just about business or romance anymore. This is about exposure, a bromance that changes everything. What makes this alliance so unsettling is how genuine it appears to be. This isn't a short-term scheme or a temporary truce. Spoilers suggest that Deacon and Bill are forming a real bond, one built on trust, shared secrets, and mutual support. They laugh together, they confide in each other, and they begin making plans. Plans that could affect Forrester creations. Plans that could reshape family dynamics. Plans that put Ridge directly in their crosshairs. The emotional weight of this bromance is heavy. These are two men who feel betrayed by the same system, and now they're determined not to be victims anymore. Brooke, Katie, and the silent fallout. As Deacon and Bill grow closer, the women in their lives begin to sense something is wrong. Brooke notices Ridge growing more defensive, more insecure. He feels the shift, but can't name it, and that uncertainty eats away at him. Katie, meanwhile, sees a different side of Bill emerging. He's calmer, more focused, and less reactive, which somehow makes him even more dangerous. And Deacon? He stops seeking approval altogether. That change alone sends shockwaves through everyone who knows him. A dangerous, new power dynamic. Spoilers hint that Ridge will soon realize he's no longer controlling the narrative. Conversations happen without him. Decisions are made behind his back. And whispers of collaboration between Bill and Deacon begin to circulate. By the time Ridge connects the dots, it may already be too late. Two men he dismissed. Two men he underestimated. Now, standing shoulder to shoulder. Outnumbered doesn't even begin to cover it. Why this storyline feels so heartbreaking. What makes today's B&B spoilers especially sad is the emotional truth beneath the drama. This isn't just about revenge. It's about men who feel discarded, unheard, and broken by the very families they wanted to be part of. Ridge's downfall, if it comes, won't be caused by malice alone. It will be the result of his refusal to see others as equals, his inability to listen, his belief that forgiveness and power belong only to him. And when the consequences finally arrive, they won't just hurt Ridge. They'll devastate everyone around him. What happens next? Will Ridge fight back, or will he crumble under the weight of isolation? Will Deacon and Bill's bromance hold strong, or will old habits destroy it? And how far are these two men willing to go now that they finally feel united? One thing is certain. The balance of power in the bold and the beautiful has shifted, and the emotional fallout is just beginning. Today's spoilers mark the start of a very sad chapter, one where alliances are rewritten, hearts are broken, and Ridge Forrester learns the painful truth. They'll devastate everyone around him. What happens next? Will Ridge fight back, or will he crumble under the weight of isolation? Will Deacon and Bill's bromance hold strong, or will old habits destroy it? And how far are these two men willing to go now that they finally feel united? One thing is certain. The balance of power in the bold and the beautiful has shifted, and the emotional fallout is just beginning. Today's spoilers mark the start of a very sad chapter, one where alliances are rewritten, hearts are broken, and Ridge Forrester learns the pain that no one saw coming. The bold and the beautiful delivers one of its most emotionally devastating developments yet. Today's very sad news centers on two families long defined by rivalry, resentment, and unresolved wounds. The Spencers and the Sharps, finally standing on the same side. But this unity doesn't come from healing or hope. It is forged in grief, fear, and irreversible loss, leaving Los Angeles reeling and fans heartbroken. For years, the Spencers and the Sharps have clashed, collided, and combusted. Blood ties, betrayals, and bitter romantic entanglements kept them locked in a cycle of conflict. Now, fate has forced them together, not to celebrate, but to survive a tragedy so profound that it changes the emotional landscape of the show forever. A union born from tragedy. This isn't the kind of alliance anyone ever wanted. Sources close to the unfolding storyline confirm that the Spencers and Sharps are uniting in the aftermath of a shattering event that leaves multiple lives altered and one future erased. The pain is collective, the shock unbearable. Old grudges suddenly feel small when weighed against the magnitude of what's been lost. What makes this moment so devastating is not just the sadness. It's the realization that this tragedy could have been prevented. Whispers of warnings ignored, red flags dismissed, and emotional landmines left unexploded now haunt everyone involved. And now, standing shoulder to shoulder, the Spencers and Sharps must face the truth together. Bill Spencer's silent breakdown. Dollar Bill Spencer is no stranger to emotional chaos, but this time, even he is undone. Those close to Bill reveal a man stripped of his usual bravado. Gone are the power plays, the ruthless confidence, the sharp-edged charm. In their place is a father, a protector, and a man confronting the devastating consequences of choices made in haste and pride. Bill's connection to the Sharps has always been complicated, laced with guilt, desire, and unfinished business. Today, that connection becomes something far heavier. He doesn't just feel responsible, he feels complicit. Observers describe Bill as haunted, barely able to look Deacon Sharp in the eye. The weight of what's happened presses down on him, and for the first time in a long while, Bill Spencer has no solution, only regret. Deacon Sharp's world crumbles. If Bill is haunted, Deacon Sharp is shattered. Deacon's journey toward redemption has never been easy. He's fought tooth and nail to be seen as more than his mistakes, to be a father worth trusting, a man capable of love and loyalty. This tragedy threatens to undo all of that progress in a single, brutal blow. Friends say Deacon is oscillating between numbness and rage. One moment he's eerily calm, the next barely holding himself together. The loss cuts so deep that words fail him. For Deacon, this isn't just pain. It's the fear that no matter how hard he tries, disaster follows him. And now, standing beside the Spencers, once his adversaries, Deacon must find the strength to keep going, even as everything he's fought for feels like it's slipping through his fingers. Hope Logan caught in the middle. Perhaps no one feels this union more painfully than Hope Logan. As a bridge between these two families, Hope has always believed in forgiveness and second chances, in the idea that love can heal even the deepest wounds. Today, that belief is tested to its breaking point. Hope is devastated, not just by what's happened, but by the realization that her dreams of unity came true in the worst possible way. She wanted peace. She wanted understanding. She wanted her father and Bill to coexist without hatred. Instead, she got a funeral-like silence, tear-filled rooms, and a shared grief that feels suffocating. Insiders hint that Hope may soon face a heartbreaking choice: hold her family together or finally protect her own heart before it breaks beyond repair. A fragile alliance, not a happy ending. Make no mistake, this is not a feel-good reconciliation. The Spencers and Sharps may be united, but their bond is fragile, held together by sorrow rather than trust. Old wounds haven't healed. They've simply been overshadowed by a pain too big to ignore. There are moments of raw honesty, tearful admissions, whispered apologies, but there's also tension simmering just beneath the surface. Blame has nowhere to land yet, but it's there waiting. And when the dust settles, that blame could explode. One wrong word, one accusation, one memory resurfacing. That's all it will take for this fragile truce to crumble. Liam and Wyatt feel the shockwaves. Liam and Wyatt Spencer are deeply affected by the tragedy, each reacting in strikingly different ways. Liam, ever the emotional empath, is overwhelmed by the sadness surrounding him. He feels pulled toward Hope, desperate to support her, but unsure how to fix something that can't be fixed. His usual instinct to do the right thing offers no comfort here. Wyatt, on the other hand, grows uncharacteristically quiet, known for his humor and light-hearted approach to life. Wyatt is shaken by seeing his father so broken. The loss forces him to confront the reality that power and money can't shield anyone from heartbreak. For the Spencer brothers, this moment marks a sobering shift, a loss of innocence that lingers long after the tears dry. Sheila Carter's shadow looms large. No tragic storyline on The Bold and the Beautiful is complete without Sheila Carter's shadow lurking nearby. Though not yet fully revealed, speculation is running rampant that Sheila's past actions or present manipulations may be connected to the events that forced the Spencers and Sharps together. Even if she isn't directly responsible, her history of chaos and destruction makes her an unavoidable suspect. If Sheila's involvement is confirmed, this fragile unity could turn explosive. Deacon's complicated feelings toward her, combined with Bill's hatred and fear, would create an emotional powder keg unlike anything the show has seen before. Fans left heartbroken and stunned. Viewers are calling this storyline one of the saddest arcs in recent memory. Social media is flooded with reactions ranging from disbelief to devastation. Many fans admit they didn't realize how deeply invested they were in the idea of these families finally finding peace, until peace came wrapped in tragedy. "This is not how we wanted them to unite," one fan wrote. "My heart hurts watching Deacon and Bill stand together like this," said another. "I'm crying and I don't think I'll recover anytime soon," a third added. The emotional impact is undeniable and long-lasting. What happens next? As the Spencers and Sharps move forward united by grief, the future is painfully uncertain. Will this tragedy finally end the cycle of hatred, or merely pause it? Can Bill and Deacon truly forgive each other, or will guilt and blame tear them apart? And most importantly, will Hope emerge stronger from this loss, or forever changed? One thing is clear: nothing will ever be the same again. This union marks a turning point, not just for these families, but for the entire canvas of the bold and the beautiful. Love has been tested, faith has been shaken, and the cost of long-held grudges has never been more apparent. Final thoughts: unity through tears. Today's very sad news reminds us that sometimes the most powerful moments of unity come not from joy, but from shared sorrow. The Spencers and Sharps didn't come together because they wanted to. They came together because tragedy left them no other choice. And as they stand side by side,